James wants to know, what role are you going to play this season?
James, I'd like to play the midfield role this year. As I said, I'd like to be playing on the wing more than half-forward flank. So the midfield development groups that I've been in pre-season training is going to really help me to push up on the wings.
Dale's asked, what kind of player would you like to develop into?
Dale, I'd like to be like, that's a tough question. Maybe a Steve Johnson or maybe Brent Harvey sort of player that can sort of play anywhere, play in the midfield and also go down and play forward and kick a few goals.
Gary's asked, how did you pull up after the Utah camp?
Pretty sore and tired really. It was a long 3 weeks, so it was good to be home and back in Melbourne, but it was well worth it over there.
And Robert wants to know, what do you eat before and after a game?
Robert, before a game I usually have pasta, like a spaghetti bolognese or something like that. And then after a game, usually just whatever the club provides, which is like pizzas, hamburgers, and just like Coke to sort of re-energise.
Andrew wants to know, who has been your toughest opponent so far?
Andrew, probably Jimmy Bartell down in Geelong, my second game. That was probably one of the hardest experiences I've had, given that he's a Brownlow medalist. Me coming into my second game made it pretty hard, just even the thought of it. But yeah, tried my hardest.
Dean has asked, who do you model your game after?
Well, at training, Dean, I like to try and sort of follow Brent Harvey. So he's one of the ones that sort of stands out to me as one of the hardest working at the club. So I'm trying to sort of emulate his sort of actions in game and outside the game as well.
And Rebecca wants to know, any advice that you would give young football players starting out?
Rebecca, probably the main thing is to work hard. Working hard is will get you further than sitting on your backside watching TV. So keep working.
Simon wants to know, with so many players thriving for greater opportunities, where do you see yourself playing most of your footy in 2012?
Simon, I'd hope to be playing on the wing more often than not. But there's going to, as you said, there's a lot of positions that are going to be pretty hard to get. So I'm going to have to work pretty hard for that wing position, but hopefully I'll sort of hold down my spot.
Josh wants to know, would you pick yourself in Dream Team, and what other North Melbourne players would you choose?
I probably won't say I'd pick myself in the Dream Team. I'd like to think I could, but it's probably a bit arrogant. I did it last year and I got a bit of slack from the other players, Josh. But probably the boys to pick from North Melbourne are Lee Adams and Andrew Swallow. I'd probably back in to rack up every week.